Hello, how are you today? I've decided to make a video for this answer for this question because it requires graphics and I can better represent that working on the board here. Okay, so you're asked to locate a point, which is a point P. That point P has a coordinates of 1, -15, and 8. So if you can see here, if you locate -15 somewhere within here, say this is -15, and if you take a vertical projection of this, something like that, and put that point here, this is -8, this is 8, so that is that point here, which is located on the trigonometric circle right here. Okay, so the angle that represents this point comes from the origin. You draw a line from the origin to the point, then you get the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle. So you got here positive, either 90 degree, 90 degree. Anyway, you're asked to find what would be the standard angle for this point. Well, if you're working with a trigonometric circle, you know as you rotate counterclockwise for positive and clockwise for negative. Okay. So if we're rotating counterclockwise, then we're starting at this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. Starting from the x-axis and rotating up to this point here. That will be your angle theta. Okay. So what is this angle? Well, angle theta is actually pi over 2, which is from here to here, plus this little angle here. What's this little angle here? I'm going to draw that in a different color. Let's draw it in blue. It's this angle right here. That angle here is called that angle it's this angle right here. And I call that angle alpha. Okay. So theta, if you look at the what you have here, theta is equal to pi over 2 plus alpha. So we need to find what alpha is. Okay. So alpha can be found by trigonometric ratios. Tangent alpha is equal to the opposite over the adjacent for this angle. So it's a 90-degree angle, and with a 90-degree right about here, this point, and we're looking to find this angle alpha. So tangent alpha is equal to what? Is equal to opposite, which is in this case -15 over adjacent, which is 8. Okay, so it's be -15 over 8 equal -1.875. Okay. So if we want to find the angle, then we take the inverse tangent of both sides of the equation above. So tangent inverse of tangent alpha equal to tangent inverse of 1.875. Sorry, minus 1.875. So tangent inverse of tangent alpha is nothing but alpha. And tangent inverse of minus 1.875 you get 61 minus 61.9 degree. Now, you might ask me, why is this minus? Well, it's minus because this angle alpha is found by moving clockwise. Okay? So, by moving clockwise, this angle alpha is going to be minus 61.9. But when we move counterclockwise, we're going to add back here, theta is going to be 90 degree pi over 2 plus this angle alpha, which we got 61.9, equal to 151.9 degree. So that angle theta is right here, is your basic angle. Okay, based on what? Based on this sign convention moving from point 0 here counterclockwise. Now, if we move clockwise, we're still going to get the same angle, but it's going to be negative. So it will be, if we move clockwise, it will be 180 minus this angle plus this angle. So what is this angle now? Well, this angle is nothing but 90 minus alpha, right? So this angle here, I'm going to call that angle beta. Okay, so angle beta is nothing but 90 minus alpha, which is 61.9 degree. And that's going to give you 28.1 degree. So it's either theta equal 151.9 or rotation from the other way, theta equal minus 180 degrees minus 28.1 degree equal to minus 208.1 degree. So how can you define where this line is? Well, you can either define it going counterclockwise from 0 here to the point where the line is, or going clockwise from 0 degrees around to the position where the line is. Okay, so now you need to find, so this is your basic angle. I'm going to call this one here is your basic angle, 151.9 degree. So if we want to find the cosine of this angle, okay, well, the cosine of this angle is nothing but the vertical projection, or sorry, the horizontal projection on this line here. Okay, so if you take cosine of 151.9 degree and you use a calculator, you're going to get cosine 151.9. You're going to get minus 0.88. Now, what's that minus 0.88? Well, that's nothing but the length of this projection of this line over the horizontal axis here. So this is minus 0.88. Now, why is it negative? Because this quadrant here has a negative sign for the horizontal projection, and this quadrant here has a positive sign for the horizontal projection. It's on the negative side, so it's negative 0.88. And so you tell me this go above 1, it does not go above 1, because this radius of this trigonometric circle has a limit of negative 1 here, and a limit of 1 here, and same thing, limit of 1 and limit of negative 1. So how does that make any sense? Well, remember that cosine 0 was 1, right? So cosine 0 is the entire radius here. Okay. How about cosine pi? Well, cosine pi is negative 1 because it's this projection here. So if this angle was cosine 180, it will be negative 1. But because it's cosine 151.9, it's minus 0.88. Okay? So now we found what the cosine of the angle. How about the sine of that angle? Sine of 151.9. Well, the sine of the angle is nothing but the vertical projection over the y-axis. So the vertical projection of this line here, that line in magenta, over the vertical axis, it's actually this length here. And like we said, it has a value of 1, and it's a positive. Therefore, the sine of 151.9 degree is going to be this projection right here. Okay? So if that's a projection, then sine of 151.9 should be equal to 0.47 plus. So it's positive. I'm going to make a difference here. And it's on the vertical. This one is on the horizontal. Now, no matter what, when you project this line over the vertical axis, it's going to be in the positive, because this is a positive x-axis. Positive y-axis, and this is a negative y-axis. So it's going to be a positive 0.47. Now, what's tangent of 151.9? Well, tangent 151.9, tangent theta is sine theta over cosine theta. So it's sine 151.9 over cosine 151.9. So the tangent of 151.9 is nothing but 0.47. I'm running out of room. I'm going to go on a different board. So tangent 151.9 is equal to, we said, going back to the board here, was 0.47 over minus 0.88. So 0.47 over minus 0.88. And that's going to give me minus 0.534. I'm going to call that 3. Minus 0.53. So what's cotangent of that angle? Cotangent of 151.9 degree. Well, cotangent alpha or cotangent theta is nothing but 1 over tangent 151.9 degree. And what is that? That is cosine of 151.9 over sine of 151.9. So what's the cosine? The cosine is minus 0.88 over 0.47. And that's also going to be negative. So 0.88 over 0.47. I got minus 1.87. Okay, that's for the cotangent. Now, let me draw the triangle here. That's what you got. Actually, it's like that. And so this is negative 15 and 8. Okay, positive 8 right here. So what would be the secant, which is the fifth property? The secant 151.9 degree is nothing but 1 over cosine 151.9 degree. So let's look for where the cosine was. The cosine was negative 0.88. So it's 1 over negative 0.88. So you get minus negative 1.1363, I'll call it 1.14. How about the cosecant? The cosecant of 151.9 degree is 1 over sine 151.9 degree. It's equal to 1 over, what was the sine? 0.47. So the cosecant is going to be positive. .12. Okay. So those are your 6 trigonometric ratios for that angle here, right here, theta. Okay. So what's all this mean? Well, it's just the trigonometric ratio of any angle theta. If you take this angle theta, then sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, right? So opposite over hypotenuse. Now we know what the opposite is 8, and we know what the adjacent is 15, but we do not know what the hypotenuse is. Well, by Pythagoras theorem, the hypotenuse is equal to square root of 8 squared plus minus 15 squared. And that is going to give you minus 15, you square, you get 225 plus 64. 225 plus 64, you get 289. You take the square root of that, you get 17. So that will be the length of the hypotenuse will be 17. So sine of this angle theta is 8 over 17. So sine theta is going to be 8 over 17, right? So what's 8 over 17? 8 over 17, 0.47. How much did we get for sine theta? 0.47. Do you see how? Okay. I'll take one more. Just take the tangent of theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Well, we already did tangent theta. We're going to do something different. We'll do cosine theta. So cosine theta is going to be equal adjacent over hypotenuse. So it will be 15. Now it's negative 15 over 17. So negative 15 over 17 is minus 0.88. Same like we got here. So how you can do this? You can either define the angle, or you can find the angle by working the trigonometric ratios. And you can do that also for tangent theta, cotangent theta, secant theta, and cosecant theta. And basically follow all the trigonometric rules that I showed you here, and you should be able to get the same answers that we got just by taking by using the calculator to find these ratios. Okay, and that will be it. And take care. And if you would like to have a private lesson with me, if you like what you see, just contact me on Wyzant, and we'll set up a lesson for you. Okay, take care. Bye.